What's up, guys? We are back with another reaction video. This time we're checking out one of the most highly requested comedians in my comment section of all time. This is George Carlin. Now, I've never heard George Carlin before, but I know he kind of does social commentary because I hear people talking about him all the time. This one is called You Have No Rights. Now, does that grab someone's attention or what? So I have no idea what to expect. I imagine he's gonna shake my world up a little bit. So why don't we just jump into this, see what it's all about. All right, let's do it.
On the Bible. You understand that shit? They tell you to raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. Does this stuff really matter? Which hand? Does God really give a fuck about details like this? Suppose you put your right hand on the Bible, you raise your left hand. Would that count?
I think it's more
God
tradition.
Say, sorry, wrong hand, try again.
But I see what he's saying.
Why does one hand have to be raised? What is the magic in this gesture? This seems like some sort of a primitive voodoo mojo shtick. Why not put your left hand on the Bible, let your right hand hang down by your side? It's more natural. Or put it in your pocket. Remember what your mother used to say? Don't put your hands in your pockets. Does she know something we don't know? Is this hand shit really important? Well, let's get back to the Bible, America's favorite national theatrical prop. Suppose the Bible they hand you to swear on is upside down, or backward, or both, and you swear to tell the truth on an upside-down, backward Bible. Would that count?
No.
Suppose the Bible they hand you is an old Bible and half the pages are missing. Suppose all they have is a Chinese Bible in an American court, or a Braille Bible and you're not blind. Suppose they hand you an upside-down, backward Chinese Braille Bible with half the pages missing.
This guy questions stuff. I appreciate that.
At what point does all of this stuff just break down and become just a lot of stupid shit that somebody made up? They fucking made it up, folks. It's make-believe. It's make-believe. Now,
I don't agree with that. I'm a Catholic.
Okay.
I'll listen to him when I hear him out. I feel like that's what you gotta do.
Let's leave the Bible aside. We'll get back to the science fiction reading later. The more important question is, what is the big deal about swearing to God in the first place? Why does swearing to God mean you're going to tell the truth? Wouldn't affect me. If they said to me, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God, I'd say, yeah. I'll tell you about as much truth as the people who wrote that fucking Bible. How do you like that? Huh? Swearing on the Bible doesn't mean anything. It's kid. Swearing to God is kid stuff. Did you remember when you were a kid? If you told another kid something he didn't quite believe, he'd say, "You swear to God?" I would always say, "Yeah, I swear to God," even if I was lying. Why not? What's going to happen if I lie? Nothing. Nothing happens if you lie, unless you get caught, and that's a whole different story. Sometimes a kid would think he was being slick with me, and he'd say, "You swear on your mother's grave?" I'd say, "Yeah. Why not? First of all, my mother was alive. She didn't even have a grave. Second of all, even if she was dead, what's she going to do? Rise from the grave and come and haunt me? Come and haunt me? All because I told a lie to an 8-year-old? Get fucking real, will you?"
That was good.
Sometimes I would say, "I swear on my mother's tits." Kids are impressed with things like that. I mean, I don't care about my mother's tits either. I didn't care if they fell off. Fuck her. Not my problem. They're your tits, Ma. You keep an eye on them. Swearing to God doesn't mean anything. Swearing on the Bible doesn't mean anything. You know why? Because Bible or no Bible, God or no God, if it suits their purposes, people are going to lie in court. The police do it all the time. All the time. Yes, they do.
That's a felony.
It's part of their job to protect, to serve, and to commit perjury whenever it supports the state's case. Swearing on the Bible is just one more way of controlling people and keeping them in line, and it's one more thing that holds us back as a species. Here's one more item for you, the last in our civics book, rights. Boy, everyone in this country's always running around yammering about their fucking rights. I have a right, you have no right, we have a right, they don't have a right. Folks, I hate to spoil your fun, but there's no such thing as rights, okay? They're imaginary. We made them up, like the Boogeyman. The Three Little Pigs, Pinocchio, Mother Goose, shit like that.
I want to hear his
Rights are an
explanation,
idea.
though.
They're just imaginary. They're a cute idea. Cute. But that's all. Cute and fictional. But if you think you do have rights, let me ask you this. Where do they come from? People say, well, they come from God. They're God-given rights. Oh, fuck, here we go again. Here we go again. The God excuse. The last refuge of a man with no answers and no argument. It came from God. Anything we can't describe must have come from God. Personally, folks, I believe that if your rights came from God, He would have given you the right to some food every day, and He would have given you the right to a roof over your head. God would have been looking out for you. God would have been looking out for you. You know that? He wouldn't have been worried about making sure you have a gun so you get drunk on Sunday night and kill your girlfriend's parents. But let's say it's true. Let's say God gave us these rights. Why would He give us a certain number of rights? The Bill of Rights in this country has 10 stipulations, okay? 10 rights.
That's got nothing to do with God,
apparently
though.
God was doing sloppy work that week because we've had to amend the Bill of Rights an additional 17 times. So God forgot a couple of things, like slavery. Just fucking slipped his mind.
Let me just pause for a second.
Let's say God gave us the original.
He's comparing the Bill of Rights to God. That's completely two separate entities. The Bill of Rights is strictly American. But let's just say, like, slavery. The Founding Fathers wanted to abolish that, but they couldn't because they would not have gotten all the colonies to agree, and then they would have lost to the British. But I see what he's kind of saying, so let's keep going.
10. He gave the British 13. The British Bill of Rights has 13 stipulations. The Germans have 29. The Belgians have 25. The Swedish have only 6. And some people in the world have no rights at all. What kind of a fucking goddamn God-given deal is that? No rights at all? Why would God give different people in different countries different numbers of different rights? Boredom? Amusement? Bad arithmetic?
We
find out at long last after all this time that God is weak in math skills? Doesn't sound like divine planning to me. Sounds more like human planning. Sounds more like one group trying to control another group. In other words, business as usual in America. Now, if you think you do have rights, one last assignment for you. Next time you're at the computer, get on the internet, go to Wikipedia. When you get to Wikipedia, in the search field for Wikipedia, I want you to type in Japanese Americans 1942, and you'll find out all about your precious fucking rights, okay? All right. You know about it.
Okay, let me pause it. Yeah, that was an atrocity. I'm not even going into that. But, like, this is an imperfect world. God has no say of, like, your rights and anything like that. That is strictly the world. Like, the world is not meant to be perfect.
Yeah.
If that
In
makes sense.
1942, there were 110,000 Japanese American citizens and good-standing, law-abiding people who were thrown into internment camps simply because their parents were born in the wrong country. That's all they did wrong. They had no right to a lawyer, no right to a fair trial, no right to a jury of their peers, no right to due process of any kind. The only right they had, right this way, into the internment camps. Just when these American citizens needed their rights the most, their government took them away. And rights aren't rights if someone can take them away. They're privileges. That's all we've ever had in this country is a bill of temporary privileges.
I agree with that.
If you read the news even badly, you know that every year the list gets shorter and shorter and shorter.
This is true. That's right on the money. He's right on the money with that one. But it doesn't spawn from God, it spawns from government.
Yeah. Sooner or later, the people in this country are going to realize the government does not give a fuck about them. Government doesn't care about you or your children or your rights or your welfare or your safety. It simply doesn't give a fuck about you. It's interested in its own power. That's the only thing, keeping it and expanding it wherever possible. Personally, when it comes to rights, I think one of two things is true. I think either we have unlimited rights or we have no rights at all. Personally, I lean toward unlimited rights. I feel, for instance, I have the right to do anything I please. But if I do something you don't like, I think you have the right to kill me. So where are you going to find a fairer fucking deal than that? So the next time some asshole says to you, I have a right to my opinion, you say, oh yeah? Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion. Then shoot the fuck and walk away.
What the flip? This guy's very pragmatic, and I kind of respect that. Believe it or not, I actually agree with like most of what he said, but I don't think it spawns from God. I think it spawns from government. Okay, this world is not perfect. It'll never be perfect. But like the people are in charge. They're interpreting God when they set the Constitution, when they set the Bill of Rights. I don't even really like to get religious on here, but I'm just saying, like, that's not God. Like, that's government. And government, you have no rights. That's 100% true. He is completely correct. Just look at the world today. We were trapped in our homes for a year in 2020. That's a perfect example right there. Only problem, my only issue is where it spawns from. He's saying it spawns from God. I say it spawns from government. He's 100% right with that. Rights are not rights if someone could just take them away. They're privileges, okay? If you expose the government for their lies and corruption, then your life is at risk. That's just a fact. Look at Edward Snowden. Look at Julian Assange. They're like, I will go to the United States of America if I am guaranteed a free and public trial so anyone could witness. So that just goes to show we don't really have that much rights. They could take them away at any time. They'll give us just enough rights so that we fall in line and don't question anything they do. That's what they'll do. But anyways, I really did enjoy this video. It really made me think. I was expecting to see a stand-up comedy routine. This was like a philosopher on stage. Really made me think, and I'm definitely going to check out more of him. Let me know in the comments what other videos of him I should see, and if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day, everybody. Take it easy.